Hi there, Evan here at the McChronicle, where the future starts today. Of course, as many of you are aware by now, there was a false flag attack on the Al-Quaik oil complex in Saudi Arabia over the weekend. Yes, you heard that right initially. And this is, ironically enough, the same oil complex responsible for virtually all of Saudi Arabia's oil exports. If you've been following me on Twitter, I've been mentioning that this is a global elite, banker-led false flag, pump and dump scheme. Everyone keeps mentioning this is about Aramco, this is about Aramco. I think this has nothing to do with this. As y'all are aware, this isn't the first time oil has had a big grip like this on geopolitics. Because ironically enough, a lot of times when it gets down on economic worries or oversupply or whatnot, something like this always seems to happen. Okay, now the purpose of today's video, I'm going to go over some of the events from about the past week or so that have led to this, which will lead you to believe where I am coming from on this. First, let's go back to September 8th. Khaled Al-Falih, the now former energy minister of Saudi Arabia, the lead architect of the OPEC Plus production cut deal that was agreed to in late 2016 to get the oil market out of oversupply, get the oil price up from the economic slowdown of 2014 and 2015, and the OPEC decision to go ahead and flood the market at the same time to kill shale in the US, which never happened. But anyhow, September 8th, he was fired, replaced by Prince Abdulaziz bin Salman, who's King Salman's fourth son, big OPEC insider, been to, from what I've heard, virtually every OPEC meeting for the past 30 years. I'm 34 years old, by the way, so I'd be too young to remember the first one. But anyhow, the reason why this is important is because the oil market was starting to believe that OPEC Plus was going to do another production cut. Then once the change at the energy ministry happened, the market, and looks like rightfully so, is right to believe that Saudi Arabia is going to push for stability in the short term and not cut production, which puts a lid on oil prices. September 11th. OPEC lowers demand forecast on economic slowdown by, as you can see on the screen there, 80,000 barrels a day. September 12th. The IEA, who, as you can see there, already went ahead and lowered their demand forecast in the previous monthly report, had stated in this monthly report that demand was still subdued because of economic slowdown and the trade war. Demand slowdown, no cut in production, lower prices. Yesterday, the false flag attack happened, and this was done the day before the 11th anniversary of the Lehman bankruptcy. If this don't look planned, I don't know what does. And whoever planned it, by the way, seeing today was as important as it is in the financial community, didn't plan this very well. Pretty easy to go ahead and state. And want to know what I do think this is a pump and dump, sell the news thing? Look at the next headline. Goldman goes Lehman weekend on oil. And their sales team, not the research team, is sending out a message to expect chaos when oil reopens, which is about 2 hours before I film this, and sharply higher prices. Why would their sales team mention they expect higher prices? Think about it. To sell it right into you. I rest my case. Now I know what you're going to say to go ahead and counter this before we go. Oh, Aramco this, the Aramco IPO that. They replaced their chairman. with an investment banker, ironically enough, as the managing director of the public investment fund. I understand all that. But look, think about it. When you attack one of their own fields, it's going to hurt investor confidence for the IPO. I mean, yes, they'll go ahead and get much higher oil prices, and that's the idea behind this, and I go ahead and get all that. But would hitting one of your own oil fields generate enough confidence to go ahead and get the best price possible on an IPO? Some of you might disagree with me. I personally don't believe that's the case. And with Goldman going ahead and sending out the note the way they did, and all the events that happened recently, I just think it's a pump and dump. It's all it is, and it's a sell the news event when all this settles out. But again, it's not trading advice. Do your own research. Good place to go ahead and leave it. That's all I'm going to say. Smash that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, follow both my Twitter accounts, and as always, my name is Evan. This is the McChronicle, where the future starts today.